on the same stage together. And I had a dream that happened, and I went to YouTube, of course, because everything that's ever happened in the history of the world is on YouTube. But to no avail, didn't find it there. No Louis Armstrong, no Howlin' Wolf. Plenty of both, without the other. So I thought to myself, maybe, and it was an ultra-dimensional thing that happened to me, you know? Ultra-dimensional things can happen to you in your sleep consciousness when the redemptive force of your imagination starts creating all these little tsunamis and they wash over you. But that's what I'd like to believe. Believe, that's a big thing. Reminds me of another joke that Bill Mathews liked to tell. The undergraduate comes to her professor. She says to him, she says, I need this A so bad. I can't even tell you how bad I need this A. I'll do anything you want. Anything you want, I'll do. I need an A. And he looks at her and he goes, really? She goes, oh yeah. He goes, really? She goes, oh yeah, I'll do anything you want. He goes, will you study? I'm gonna start out singing a little Howlin' Wolf. Is that all right with y'all?
Yes.
Okay with that? This is called Louie and the Wolf. Whoa, I asked the girl for water, and whoa, she gave me gasoline. Whoa, I asked the girl for water, yeah, and whoa, gasoline, and that's the devilish woman I damn never see. I have come to wonder if Louis Armstrong and the wolf ever met. What a sight that would be. A grand summit meeting complete with growling, Wolf licking his harp and Satchmo grinning away, deftly fingering his horn in an effort to curtail the sonic boom of the two most powerful voices ever gathered in the walls of a single room. Howling and stalking with that elegant whisper. I imagine Wolf laying tracks and Louis so remarkably dignified, so clearly in the furrows of the groove, prowling the stage like the shadow of a storm cloud, while Wolf raged and bit down on the low chord changes like a chainsaw blade, a ragged sound, refined by the shimmering honey of the Great Dipper's rising horn, so perfectly above the fray. And Howlin' would get all excited and turned up, and he'd get down on all fours and he'd writhe around on the stage, and King Louis, with his handkerchief flying like a flag on a mahogany galleon, would be hurtling across the choppy sea's musical wake. Wolf would be bursting with delta moan and the evil ways of a tail dragger for Satan, forsaking his mother's gospel hysterics and earning her undying neglect, right up to his final deathbed, when he said to her, Mama, I'm sorry I chose the blues, but I'm dying. She didn't come. Named for a president, Chester Arthur Burnett was born under a bad sign. Halley's Comet burning across the sky like a brakeman's lantern. But a blues man will survive, and he stares straight into the sun like a rifle with eyes. And old Satchmo would know, his thunderous percussive purr emerging from the earth like a fountain of pent feeling, meticulous in its placement as it repeatedly echoed the punch of the brass lines and the cymbal set to ride, and his cornet weathered every swinging era, birds' heebie-jeebies and the big band's muskrat rambles, always sailing and seldom misbehaving, not since his rancid Storyville days when he was a child and he was taken by the Colored Waif's municipal boys' home, and his body was peppered black and blue with blows until the bent boy escaped via the Mississippi on a light-littered steamboat, swimming for his life, and its giant wheel just the juju and propulsion needed to heal the nuance of a genius whose rules are its own. Sometimes Louis would think about that river and that night, and he would play those last quiet notes with the crowd so still. You could hear a rat pissing on cotton. And he would set the gleaming corner of a note, and he would set it to crackle, and he would pierce the racial gloom of the American heart like buckshot, his trumpet bell uplifted and ringing, though the rain may ooze and lovers lose that feeling, though the moon melt down and the earth finally find its ceiling in the poisoned heavens, there will still be a moan, overwhelming all others, a horn poised flaming in our imagination, howling, standing at the edge of a stage and screaming, "Hoy, hoy, I'm your boy, 300 pounds of heavenly joy. Oh, I'm your boy." One final time, you feel that horn poised flaming in our imagination. And though the earth be smothered and fire rise inside the webbing of our skins, we will be boiled in the shock of recognition, bound in worship, like Louis and the wolf, whose dream meeting probably never took place, though my mind cannot erase the wish of it, the sheer bliss and pitch and rich opposition that the scene presents, a listening like I have never experienced, gears within gears grinding until the wounds are wound together, the grace of music calming every child's feathers, arm in arm in the apocalypse as they rise and sing in the last of the Gulf and its fearsome swelter.